Welcome to the RJI Futures Lab, where we help you make your organization more innovative. I'm Ruben Stern. This week, a tool that feeds smartphone cameras into TV control rooms and tips for building a graphics team. A startup called Yaudio has built a system to get live footage from multiple smartphone users directly into a studio broadcast. It also provides two-way communication between the control room and the phones. We spoke with co-founder and CEO John Lawrence to find out how it works.
Yaudio is real-time video live streaming from anyone, anywhere, anytime, directly into broadcast workflows.
A key component that distinguishes Yaudio from other mobile streaming platforms like Periscope and Meerkat is the communication technology.
We would never have a cameraman produce one of our shows without being able to tell that cameraman, please pan left, please pan right, please widen out, create a shot that helps us tell our story better. And so we wanted to bring together that traditional production tool set all the way down to the user level on their phone, on their device, and be able to take real-time live streaming video from that person into a production workflow, give them, like a satellite truck, a network return so that they know what they're participating in, and then be able to extend things like talkback into the production all the way through with that user so that I can ask them to smile, I can ask them to reframe. Nobody else needs to hear that.
Another feature Yaudio offers is the ability for a producer to monitor and communicate with several users at once. The producer can also remotely check each contributor's devices, including battery life, mic levels, and signal strength, and sort them from best to worst.
On the newsroom side, it's really like air traffic control for live video. We have a little filter, it puts the people with the best at the top if that's what I care about. And then I select from those and I literally drag and drop them into a screening interface where I can look at their video, get a visual review of if I want to speak to that person or not. And then as an associate producer or an intern, it's just like calling into a radio station. The first person who answers the phone says, hey, what do you want to talk about today? Will you turn your radio down? Okay, now I'm going to pass you over to the producer. And that's what the first kind of stage of it is.
Yaudio includes a hardware installation that integrates directly into a studio control board. Users pay a monthly fee.
So we're a licensed subscription base. It depends on what you would like. Would you like everybody to come in through a web-based browser? Would you like them to come in through mobile apps that we deliver to you? Would you like them to come in through our mobile app, or would you like an SDK that you put in your mobile app?
Yaudio is currently being used by Revolt, a music-oriented digital cable network. They have a list of 50 to 100 contributors who they rotate into their live shows. For the Futures Lab, this is Rachel Wise.
Yaudio recently beat out 29 other media startups to win the Best of Sprocket Award at the annual NAB show held in Las Vegas. Graphics have become a popular part of online storytelling, but for smaller organizations, it can be hard to add graphics into the mix. The Futures Lab's Katie Mersman gathered some tips from one newsroom that recently started from scratch.
Incorporating graphics into a print or web newsroom can be a challenge. After the first step of convincing reporters and editors of their importance, it can take a second step to make sure the graphics resources are being used as effectively as possible.
We did spend a long time at first trying to get folks excited about making a map, making a chart, and thinking about different ways to approach their stories, to kind of plant that seed to say, like, okay, I have this type of data set. I think this could really use a map. And we kind of started out kind of infiltrating the morning news meeting and saying things like, that was a great story yesterday. I think it could have maybe benefited from having this smaller visual component. I think people were really receptive, and that's, to our surprise in a way, that became the challenge in the end. We got so much excitement in the newsroom that there were just too many ideas and we had time to produce, or the resources to. And so then it became about really knowing when a story warranted a map or a visual. We actually wound up using a giant spreadsheet that contained all of the ideas that had come across our desk. And that helped us sort of prioritize what was newsier, what needed to be done in 2 days or in the next 2 hours versus the next month or so. We started out doing a lot of trainings through a weekly session called Skills Thursdays, and we kind of bribed people to come to the conference room and hang out with us while we taught them how to use things like spreadsheets and how to, mainly to show them how we think about visuals when we are like reporting out a story or when a reporter comes to us. I think the main benefit came out of making sure to pair up with reporters and editors, and rather than allowing them to just hand off a data set to us and say, I need something that represents X by 5 p.m., to be able to back up with them and say, well, actually, we need to be a part of the process a lot more early on, and to be thinking about the visual components right from the moment they have a story idea.
Starting a graphics desk can require a lot of flexibility in the beginning. Lee recommends staying in the newsroom as a visual reminder to reporters of the importance of graphics. For the Futures Lab, this is Katie Mersman.
Lee recommends hiring someone with graphics experience if possible to help set the desk up at first. That person's job might be a temporary assignment to train the rest of the newsroom before a set date. And that's it for this report from the RJI Futures Lab. I'm Ruben Stern. We'll see you in the future.